Hello and welcome to the channel Pure Vehicles, or Pure Vlog 2024. This is our first vlog that we've put together, both myself and my son. The reason here is I have a passion for cars. As an independent dealer, I'm very lucky to be around these cars every day and have a passion for these cars. And then also my son, who's behind the camera. Together, what we want to do is we want to try and build a community of people who have the same passion that we do. These cars that we show are all for sale. They're for clients, for us. So we give an honest review of the cars, and that helps people make their decision on whether this is the type of car that they want to buy and if they want to buy it from us. Let's get to why you're really here, and that's to talk about the AMG GT. So let's start with the front of the AMG GT. Absolutely beautiful design in terms of a performance vehicle. We have the AMG badge at the front here, and then we also have the iconic large Mercedes badge as well, which was pretty common on the roadsters back in the 1950s, and it was nice to see Mercedes bring that back. That's then flanked by the beautiful open grille behind it, and then we also have these LEDs on the side as well. Then when we take a look at the length of the bonnet, it's not just to accommodate the engine, it's actually to accommodate the beautiful shape of the car itself. So let's talk about the side profile of the car. Now, Mercedes have given this a huge amount of thought in the wind tunnel, to the extent where when you look at the shape of the car, there's really no possibility of air buffering at all. Now, I get it, alloys don't excite everybody, but you'll be surprised, alloys are a pretty key component of the car. And with these here, we have the 19-inch 5-spoke AMG badged matte black alloy. And then behind that, we have the red caliper AMG signature marking as well, which just makes the whole wheel pop. Now let's move to the back of the car, and in my opinion, the most beautiful part of it. You know how some car designers give up 3/4 of the way through the car, and then you look at the back of it and you think, what have you done there? Well, with Mercedes, that didn't happen. The beauty of what they've created here with the rear muscle haunches just absolutely makes the car look amazing. Looking at some of the detail on the back of the car, we have the beautiful badging, the AMG and the GT. We have the sequential tail lights. We have a very clever placement of the fog lights halfway down the back. And then we also have the rear reverse light slung underneath the license plate, which is a really clever place to put it because it's practical but doesn't pull away from the design of the rear of the car. And then we have the placement of the rear camera here, which is a really clever place to put it because we've been driving this a lot in the wet, and that doesn't seem to get clogged up with the mud at all. This is really a great place to be sat. Not only is it comfortable, which is going to be great for the longer journeys, but at the same time as well, you want to make sure that everything is on hand for you and isn't difficult to utilize. So with the steering wheel here, you have the famed AMG 3/4 steering wheel. The dashboard is clearly laid out, more on that when we're out on the drive later, as well as the infotainment system using a BMW type iDrive system, which is very easy to navigate. And then down the left and right hand side of the driver controls, we have the specific buttons such as the individual, comfort, sport, sport plus, etc. All in all, in terms of driving, as you will find out in the later segment, this really is a great place to be. Now that we've done the exterior of the car, we're doing the interior of the car and obviously the drive. Now the interesting thing is, from a 53-year-old man's perspective, actually stepping into this car, quite frankly, is like stepping into a sinkhole. You're sat in a performance car and you look around the cabin, and you don't want a cabin that's too distracting. You want something that still allows you to be connected to the road while you're actually driving the car. And one of the great things about the GT is the fact that whilst there seems to be a lot of buttons, there actually isn't. And it's pretty self-explanatory on what you actually switch on and what you don't switch on. When you're looking at the interior cabin itself, on the standard family saloons, you have this plasticky bit here as knocking, but on this, it's leather and red pepper stitching. It's just absolutely sublime. So let's talk about the quality of the materials that are used in cars like the AMG GT. As I mentioned before, with the family saloons, obviously at the end of the day, it's about driving down the price to make it more affordable for more people to want to buy the car. It's about volume, quantity, not quality. With the AMG GT, it's not about that. It's about the quality. So when you look at the interior cabin itself, just everything you touch, lean against or look at just screams quality. Even the steering wheel just feels like it's just completely connected and wrapped around your hands. It's like when you put your hands around the steering wheel, you actually feel like you're connected to the car. You also have the flappy paddle gearbox. So if you're a budding Lewis Hamilton and you want a more spirited drive on the back roads, then you can move away from the standard sequential gearbox and then move to up and down on the flappy paddles. What I've also noticed as well is that even though this car is a 65 plate, it drives like it's new. Now, the client who looked after this really did a good job looking after it with a full service history behind it as well. But with only 17,200 miles on the clock, quite frankly, I wouldn't have expected to not drive like new. The instrument cluster is really interesting. The one thing I like about this particular design of the instrument cluster is that the two main dials that you should see on every sports car are there. Speed on the left, rev counter on the right. Now, we also have the LCD screen in the middle, which is telling you whether you're in drive, neutral, whatever the case may be, whether you're in comfort, sport, sport plus, sport on steroids, whatever the case is. But I think the great thing about this as well is that whilst your speedometer is in miles per hour, your actual readout of the speed you're doing can also be in kilometers an hour as well. So the great thing about that is you can drive through the whole of Europe and then not have to do the conversion in your head. Okay, so there you have it. The Mercedes-Benz AMG GT V8 bi-turbo. If you liked our content, which I certainly hope you did, then please like and subscribe to our channel. It really helps it grow. And as you can see from the cars behind us, we've still got a lot of cars to get through, and we'd like to share that content with you. So until next time, please drive safely.